Last one, folks, finally. This is example 6 of section 6.1. What we're going to do now is we are going to look at sort of an application of this, okay? These graphs that we're drawing, these exponential equations, are usually called either exponential growth or exponential decay. This is an example of a graph that obviously, as it goes from left to right, is growing. And one of the things that grows normally are populations. So bacterial population is what this graph represents. If you look at the graph, after days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these are the populations, okay? At day 0, the population of bacteria was 3. After 1 day, the population was 12. 2 days, the population was 48. 3 days, the population was 192, and at 4 days, the population was 768. How do I write an exponential function that represents this population if x stands for the number of days and y stands for the population? Well, remember, exponential functions for part A can be written in the form y equals a times b to the x power. Okay? Now, to do this, we know that when x is 0, if I would put a 0 in here, you would have a times b to the 0, right? Well, we know anything to the 0 power is 1. So if I put 0 in, we know a times 1 is simply a. So by putting 0 in, I'm going to get whatever a is. Well, that's helpful because whenever you see this point, when the x value is 0, that's going to be the value of a. That's going to be your starting value. So far I know I have y equals 3 times something to the x power. So again, how did I find a? It's whatever the y value is when x is 0. Right? Now how do I find b? Well, remember, b is what's going to happen to the x values. If I were to make a table here of x and y values, you notice the x values go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Well, what happens to the y values? Well, the y values start at 3, then go to 12, then 48, then 192, and then 768. You'll notice the x values keep going up by 1, while the y values, what are we multiplying by there? What do you multiply 3 by to get 12, and 12 by to get 48, and so on? Again, if you can't tell in your head, you can always divide backwards. 12 divided by 3, that goes 4 times. 48 divided by 12, that's also going to be 4. 192 divided by 48, that'll also be 4. 768 divided by 192 will also be 4. So we're going to keep multiplying by 4. That tells us that this base must be 4. And so my exponential function is right here. If I wanted to check to see if it's correct, I can put in any one of these x numbers and I should get its corresponding y value. Okay, so for example, if I put 3 in for x, 3 times 4 to the third power should give me 192. And of course it does. All right, let's try one more. B. B says find the population after 5 days. Well, you can see after 4 days it was 768 and it's going up. So what's it going to be after 5 days? Well, now that we have an equation, we can just plug in 5. Or what's the other option? The other option is we know that the y values keep being multiplied by 4. I could just take this last number and multiply it by 4 again. It'll have the same effect. Now 4 to the 5th is a really huge number. 4 times 4 is 16, times another 4 is 64, times another 4 is 256. I think if we multiply that by another 4 yet, you'll get 1,024, which then you have to multiply by 3. Well, that's a huge number. So we might want to go to our calculator for this one. 3 times 4 to the 5th. Okay? 3 times 4 to the 5th. So sometimes it's appropriate to use your calculator. You just don't want to be using it when you've got real small numbers, things that you should be able to do in your head. So there you go. It looks like 1,024 times 3 is 3,072. So we'll go back, we'll write our answer. So the population after 5 days is 3,072. And that's it. That's the end of section 6.1. Finally. All right? Hopefully you've been able to understand this pretty easily.